it and put it in Fort Knox.
The fort boasted a massive new vault in the middle of a fortified army base in Kentucky. That was the last time the gold was really counted. Commodities analyst Jeffrey Christian believes the gold is still intact.
I'm comfortable that the gold's there. People have seen it. It's audited every year by the Inspector General of the U.S. Treasury.
But there is no testing, no assay as part of the audit. The last full count was done in 1954, with a media show and tell in 1974. But a recent attempt to force full disclosure was defeated in the Congress. Precious metal billionaire Eric Sprott says aloud what many suspect when asked, is there gold in Fort Knox?
That's a good question. There has been no audit since, I think it's 1954 or something like that. An audit would not be a difficult thing to do. I think you have to assume that all the gold's not there.
By 2013, apprehension about the security of national gold reserves was not confined to Fort Knox. Venezuela took everyone by surprise by staging a political drama with gold front and center.
It was really amazing to see people marching alongside the armored trucks bringing in the gold to the country.
More than any other people, nations like Venezuela know that blood, war, and conquest often flow like molten gold. In 1998, when Hugo Chavez was first elected president of Venezuela, he discovered that Venezuela's gold, once again, was in European hands, courtesy of the world's most controversial financial institutions. Journalist Eva Gollinger has written about the country's finances for years.
The International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, told the Venezuelan government that in order for them to be able to secure loans and to prosper in the long term under this new type of neoliberalism, they needed to send their gold to be stored in banks outside of Venezuela.
With gold brick in hand, Chavez began a campaign to explain to the people of Venezuela why it was a bad idea for the gold to be out of the country. All told, 211 tons of bullion worth some $11 billion was held by foreign banks.
And it wasn't until President Chavez realized that Venezuela's gold could be in jeopardy, being stored in banks in the United States and in Europe where there were extreme financial crises occurring, that the gold of Venezuela could somehow be used by these banks to cure their own internal financial woes.
Gold expert John Embry says Venezuela's demand set off a small panic on the gold market. Venezuela's gold clearly was not allocated, that is, set aside in a vault with Venezuela's name on it.
It took a long time. And I mean, it put stress on the market because they had to go out and find enough gold to ship this, and it wasn't a large amount either.
Chavez kept the pressure on. 6 months later, the government threw a grand parade to welcome home the first shipment of Venezuela's gold. Like France and England, Venezuela came to understand the power of gold as a guarantee of national sovereignty. But other countries haven't been so successful when they tried to repatriate their gold. Most of Germany's gold is stored in New York at the Federal Reserve Bank, the Fed. But when the Bundesbank, the Germans' central bank, asked to see their gold in 2012, the Fed refused access, citing security concerns. Now Germany's asking for its gold back. Eric Sprott is convinced most of the German gold is gone.
Well, it's obvious they don't have all their own gold. I mean, they basically said that. We have some gold in our vaults and we have some gold elsewhere. And I don't think it's defined even how much they have in Germany. I would bet that the Germans don't have access to the gold they think they own.
Canadians, too, may be in for a shock. The nation's central bank boasts a modern headquarters that has won architectural awards. But no prize would be awarded for how they have managed the best performing asset of the last decade. The Canadian answer to "where's the gold" is simple. Except for a few bars, it's gone. All gone. Despite its international reputation for gold mining, Canada has sold off its multi-ton gold reserve over the last 3 decades under both Conservative and Liberal governments.
I think it's important that the country, in order to have some strength within the international financial community, has some gold.
Gold analyst John Embry says a monumental shift is underway in the world of gold. Citizens and nations will ignore it at their peril.
What people in the West don't seem to realize, I think they're making a ghastly mistake, is that the people in the East, the Chinese, the Vietnamese, Indians, Russians, they delight in this opportunity to buy the cheap gold. So it's going west to east. And as an old adage, gold goes where the wealth is being created. I mean, it doesn't say a lot about the future of the West.
Behind the castle walls of the Royal Canadian Mint, modern alchemists are casting gold in ingots and 1-ounce gold and